We all know that one person. You drop by unannounced on a random Tuesday. Their home is spotless. The pillows are fluffed, not a single crumb on the table. The sink is bone dry. It's like they live in a catalog, not the real world. And you can't help but wonder, how? How did they do it while the rest of us battle mountains of laundry? How are they winning against a greasy frying pan? Are they just obsessed? Or do they actually enjoy polishing faucets? We're used to thinking it's just perfectionism or excessive discipline. We look at them and don't understand, why are we so different from them and they from us? Why is leaving a dirty plate overnight perfectly normal for one person, but physical torture for another? The truth is, it's not about a love for cleaning, and it's not even about typical OCD. It's something much sharper. What you see as perfect order isn't a hobby or a personality trait. It is a highly complex, automated survival strategy in a world they feel they cannot control. To understand what's actually happening inside their head, we need to look at their neurobiology. For most people, a mess is just an annoying fact. Yeah, I should probably clean that up eventually. But for those obsessed with cleanliness, visual noise is a direct attack on the brain. Scientists have found that our brains perceive piles on a desk or an unwashed floor as unfinished tasks. Every stray object is like an open tab in your browser, constantly eating up your RAM. For people with a drive for perfect order, this sensitivity is turned up to the max. Where you see just a pile of clothes on a chair, their brain sees a flashing alarm signal. Psychologists call this regulation through environment. When the outside world becomes too chaotic, unpredictable, or frightening, their nervous system instinctively searches for an anchor, and they find it in their apartment. It works like defragmenting a hard drive. By putting things in their places, they are quite literally filing away their own thoughts. A vacuum cleaner in their hands isn't a cleaning tool. It's a way to instantly lower their cortisol, the stress hormone. A clean table surface isn't just about aesthetics. It's a guarantee that everything in their life is under control. Even if, in reality, everything outside that room is falling apart. They don't get pleasure from the process of mopping floors. They get a dopamine hit from the fact that the chaos has finally been defeated. It's their way of telling the world to shut up and giving their brain a long-awaited break. But here's the dark side most clean freaks won't tell you. This drive for order isn't always a choice. Often, it quietly morphs into an invisible prison. Have you noticed that these people physically cannot relax if there's a single dirty plate in the sink? They could be bone tired after a long day, their legs giving out, but they won't touch that sofa until every surface is wiped and every object is in its place. For them, resting in a mess isn't resting, it's torture. Psychologists call this cognitive stickiness. Their brain literally gets snagged on the imperfections of the room, while others can just ignore a pair of stray socks. Someone obsessed with order feels that chaos on their skin. It's an internal itch that won't stop until the world is right again. And here is the ultimate paradox. They burn massive amounts of energy, creating the perfect sanctuary, only to end up too exhausted to actually enjoy it. They build a temple of peace, where they themselves cannot find rest. Beneath this need for sterility often lies a deep-seated, lingering anxiety. Maybe they grew up in a chaotic home where nothing was predictable, or they hit a point where life felt like it was slipping through their fingers. In those moments, cleanliness becomes the only way to tell the world, I set the rules here. Here, I am safe. Their home isn't just a house. It's a fortress where every scrubbed corner is a tiny victory over life's chaos. But sometimes, the price of that victory is just too high. But what if we stop looking at this as a problem that needs to be fixed? If you look closer, this obsession with order is actually a rare and valuable skill. In a world that is becoming increasingly chaotic, noisy, and unpredictable, these people are the true architects of stability. While everyone else is drowning in deadlines and forgotten promises, the person who has disciplined themselves to maintain a clean space possesses something most people lack: clarity. Their superpower lies in their ability to create a safe haven, not just for objects, but for meaning. They know a secret that science is only now confirming. External structure supports internal resilience. When there's a storm outside, their home remains a lighthouse. It's not just about clean floors. It's a trained ability to cut out the noise. They are masters of filtration. They don't let clutter into their lives, whether it's old clothes or toxic thoughts. Their drive for cleanliness is, at its core, a profound respect for their own energy. They refuse to waste it fighting chaos that could simply be avoided. Ultimately, these people aren't just cleaning. They are designing their lives so there is room for what what truly matters. And perhaps we all could learn from their courage. The courage to firmly show the door to anything that keeps us from breathing freely. So, if you're that person who can't fall asleep knowing there are crumbs on the kitchen counter, know this: you are perfectly okay. You aren't weird, obsessive, or a bore. In a world where everything is constantly breaking, changing, and slipping out of alignment, you are the one who knows how to build an island of absolute calm. Your drive for cleanliness isn't a weakness or a neurosis. It is your way of saying yes to life itself, protecting your inner world through your outer order. You aren't just mopping floors, you are defending your mental hygiene, and that is your strength. But there is one critical catch. Sometimes, behind that perfect order lies more than just a thirst for peace. It's an echo of the past. Often, the people controlling every speck of dust today are the same ones who had to shoulder adult responsibilities far too early in childhood. If you feel like your need for control runs much deeper than just cleaning, you need to watch our next video. In it, we break down the psychology of children who grew up too fast and explain why that still keeps you from simply relaxing and being yourself today. Click the link on the screen. This video will explain more about you than you ever imagined. See you there.